What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And this one I want to break down what's going on with NIO, Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'll break down why tomorrow is going to be an interesting day as we have some big earnings coming out, and how the technicals are looking like for the overall market and these different companies. But before I break anything down all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. So, anyways, guys, let's break down what's going on with NIO and the markets. Looking at NIO, we actually had a pretty decent day as NIO formed a nice double bottom. Looking at today, NIO started to pump a little bit with the market as I predicted, and NIO managed to come up to this 8.5 level. I was looking for 8.63. We came just short of that, but overall, we did get this small little bounce. So when we zoom out of NIO's chart, we can actually look at the daily time frame, and you'll see that NIO has been on this big downtrend for quite some time, and now it's starting to show some strength as we have a daily bullish candle as NIO is trying to break above 8.5 and hold it. So it's looking a bit more bullish. It looks like the odds do favor more upside, so we're going to be watching for that as time progresses. Now, for tomorrow, I just wanted to call out that we have some Fed speakers like Williams speaking. We have some industrial data coming out about 15 minutes before the market opens. And that's pretty much it. We have some housing data later on, but nothing else that's too big. One more Fed speaker known as Barkin is going to be giving a speech, and so far the market is holding up. Now, I also wanted to call out this before I talk about NIO, that we have this big news coming out that on Tuesday, we have Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, Johnson Johnson, just a couple of other earnings that could cause some more volatility. And we also have Lockheed Martin, which is going to be more and more telling. So we're going to be watching how this ends up performing, how these big banks end up doing, how this ends up affecting the market going into tomorrow. Now, some big news came out for NIO that NIO finds early success with solid state batteries. It has files to expand the technology to 11 more EVs, which is great news for them. We're continuing to see NIO expand with their different models, and the solid state batteries are just being killers for them. This is potentially game changing technology, and with dozens of EVs powered by the lighter, safer, more efficient, and more energy dense cells, the automotive landscape overseas could soon look very different, and that drivers can now go further and charge faster. So that's going to be very interesting to witness to see how this ends up looking. When NIO first unveiled, excuse me, when NIO unveiled its ET7 sedan back in January of 2021, it showcased a new 150 kilowatt per hour solid state pack that was developed with Wheel Lion. So this is some great news for them because this has been a big hit for them, and they're just continuing to expand this to get more and more solid state batteries to expand their sales and their models. The news is coming out that Deutsche Bank has a buy rating for NIO that is still being maintained, and overall the price price ratio is holding up. And besides that, there isn't really any changes in the data. Now, NIO also mentioned that the ET5 is just a very, very good, sleek, and progressive product by NIO, and it's continuing to look great for them as time goes on. So, that being said, I just wanted to call out the fact that NIO is currently up 0.59%. So, you have this gap up here around this 10.4 area. And overall, this on the daily, there's a good chance of NIO making attempts to bounce with the market as long as we continue. So I want to now talk about SPY and the other tickers before I break down more details about NIO. Looking at SPY, I just wanted to call out that on the 4-hour time frame, we have a bullish looking structure developing. SPY is on a slight uptrend. We're about to get a bullish cross in the PPO, and it looks like it's going to be as it closed above its 200 EMA, or it's currently above it. Depending on earnings, it looks a bit more bullish, and it looks like it's going to try to make its way up to 438.6. So we have a bullish wedge that developed, so the odds do favor more upside. So watch for another push. We also have a cup and handle technically on the 30 minutes time frame. I could see this going up to 438.6 as my target, and I think it's going to approach that level going into tomorrow for a little bit more upside. Now, it's not just SPY, but Tesla's actually testing this 255 area. On Tesla, we have a potential inverse head and shoulders like structure. You guys can see it right here. And I believe that this thing has a full measured potential of hitting 256.5 soon, potentially approaching 260 as it approaches its earnings. Tied onto this, Apple's looking kind of flat right now. We have a possible inverse head and shoulders right here. Apple could be pushing back up above 180, and if it does get that push up, that could lead to more bullish outcomes for SPY and the QQQ. So I'm seeing some upside potential. The QQQ ended up getting this balance. We were talking about this too. We have an inverse head and shoulders like structure, We could see the triple Q try to push up a little higher towards 373 very, very soon. This is just a temporary bounce, so this could go into tomorrow. And finally, for Nvidia came down, got a nice bounce, and we're forming a bullish wedge right here, which tells me that it's very likely Nvidia is going to be pushing back up towards at least this 466 resistance. So I could see that going into tomorrow. So I'm seeing lots of bullish potential. I hope the best for everyone out there, and I do believe the market could continue pushing. So what does this tell us about NIO stock? I think NIO is going to get dragged up as there is more news involving China increasing potential stimulus and then trying to inflate their stock market. Some news headlines were saying that, so that's a good piece of news for NIO. And to add on to that, NIO is also working very, very hard to kick off their ET5 deliveries in Europe. That's great news for them. I can't wait to see how this holds for them, but now I just want to break down the technicals real quick. So on the 30 minutes time frame, NEO has a potential inverse head and shoulders like structure. Actually, I wouldn't say it's an inverse head and shoulders since we have this drop right here that invalidated it. But we formed a bullish divergence, and now we're forming a bullish wedge right here. So with this bullish wedge forming, I could see NEO attempt to break towards 8.58 with the 200 EMA test on the 30 minutes time frame very, very soon. I think NEO is going to attempt to break it and start pushing towards the $9 area. I think there's a good chance of more upside, especially when we look at these imbalances. I believe that as long as NEO gets above 8.63 after breaking 8.58, it could come all the way up towards this 8.9 area to fill this imbalance. That means we should be watching NEO very carefully. We're getting very close to a bullish cross in the PPO. I think NEO may bounce and push very close to $9 so long as we get above 8.58 and 8.63. So with the market bouncing temporarily, especially Tesla pushing approaching its earnings, I believe that the consumer discretionary sector is due for some more upside. And I think that the market's going to help NEO pump higher as we have a bullish divergence, and we're starting to see some bullish crossovers on the PPO, and NEO is gaining more and more strength for a change in its market structure. All right, so this means I see NEO testing 8.58 soon, possibly breaking that and likely breaking it. We have a bullish looking 4-hour candle to end us for the day. We have a daily candle that's looking more bullish, and 8.63 is likely going to be tested and broken. So I think 8.9 is coming towards this imbalance. I think NEO is going to bounce temporarily. So that's the direction I'm leaning in, guys. Hopefully, this video was helpful for all the investors out there. Please remember to remain calm, cool, and collected at all times, no matter how crazy the market may seem. And remember to just do your own due diligence and do the best you possibly can. Thank you for listening. I apologize for being a little bit late today. I was not feeling the best earlier on because I just did not sleep at all last night. But I'm still here and I'll be back tomorrow again for more updates. So I thank you for listening. Have a great day. Remain calm, cool, and collected. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you and peace out.